Previously on Power Reviews.
After everything that happened while I was caught in that other dimension, can I even really be trusted?
Portal alignment device scattering us across dimensions.
Very powerful magic indeed to bring you to Sumerian forest.
A spell of transport.
Here at Jungle Karma Pizza. Call me Master Gel.
I'm a synth-organic biomeganoid.
It's the Morpotsners.
I'll go after them. It's morphin' time.
The Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eye Line shorted out. The Mark II and the Mark III have both gone offline.
That's not DB!
VENJIX.
The good people at Alphabet Soup are taking great care of them. Bye-bye, Dr. K.
Where on earth did he get those moves from?
They're 1 minute, gone the next.
We've got you. What the?
Aparicia.
True. Is it?
One of Dr. C's labs. We're bringing database back.
And now, Database Rangers Power Review.
Greetings, Ranger fans, and welcome to my imprisonment.
Bringing database back. Take a look around you. You've just confiscated an Alphabet Soup laboratory. I give you maybe 10 minutes before this place is swarming with agents.
More than enough time to deal with you. Do you really think you can cure him? I've defeated VENJIX once before, I can do it again. And this laboratory has exactly what I need to synthesize the antivirus. All I need to do is recalibrate the nanotech serum to interact with his synth-organic biology. Anything we can do to help?
You can't trust her, you know.
Yes. Give him something to watch.
Oh, come on.
All right, Venjabase. Let's see how you like episode 17 of Power Rangers Super Megaforce. Vrak is back, part 2.
Fine. After a quick recap, re-exposits how Vrak came back, kidnapped Orion, brainwashed Robonite, disabled their super modes, and created a giant set of drills to bust up the planet.
And it's all thanks to you!
He plots in his underwater lab to turn his second monster, Drillhorn, into the final drill, while Robonite will be tasked with the Rangers' destruction. Meanwhile, the Rangers learn that their power cards are as useless as ever when it comes to the drills.
Not unlike your efforts to fight Alphabet Soup.
And find themselves once again facing off against Vrak and Robo-Zombie. So they send Emma to go fly the command ship solo like she did before with Rico the robot, who I realize must still be floating around in orbit right now if he hasn't been shot down by an Armada warship, while they morph to Mega and proceed to debate amongst themselves whether or not they should actually be attacking him, which they probably should have decided on earlier.
I highly suggest you rethink that strategy.
The guy has a point.
Trying to talk Robonite down does nothing but get them blasted off a cliff.
Well, that didn't work.
Eventually, even Troy has to admit that they have no choice but to fight back, activating Ultra Mode and dueling Robonite himself.
What do you say, guy? Want a real rematch?
I'll pass.
No surprise there. All you Hexagon agents must know you'd never stand a chance against a real Power Ranger.
Vrak sends Drillhorn down to keep the others busy, forcing them to go Ultra while Troy and Robonite's duel spills over into the warehouse district, where his Ultra Whip seems to give him an edge for a moment before he's quickly blasted back out of Ultra Mode.
You can't defeat me.
Just like the others can't defeat Drillhorn, and Emma can't destroy the giant drill.
I guess they should have known better than to trust a little girl with the fate of the world.
So she runs down to join the fruitless fight against the monster, just in time for Vrak to give him a Zombat boost that allows him to play out his city-crushing rampage from the opening narration, which naturally leads to the Rangers activating the Gosei Ultimate Megazord to combat the creature.
These fools still don't understand that we can lose.
Resistance is futile.
Hey, I was up for that part.
Wow, this host is on a free association kick.
So while Troy and Robonite waste time playing with cars,
Not like you playing with your little toy computer.
the others finish off Drillhorn with their Ultimate Strike victory charge, clearly forgetting how well that went for them last time.
Perfect! Another part of my plan falls into place.
Got it. The serum is complete. Now comes the hard part.
What's that?
Getting him to take it.
Oh, right.
The Rangers race off to help Troy, who has been continuing his epic duel with Robonite. But sadly, all the well-choreographed action in the world can't save him from getting smashed into a girder and demorphed. Even so, he keeps on fighting to save his old forgotten friend.
Stay back, guys! I got this!
As if a simple depowered human could ever stand a chance.
I'm going in.
Troy, please let us help.
I can reach him!
Database, If you're still in there, please let us help you.
You should really be worried about helping yourself.
Despite his best efforts, Troy's clearly not getting through. Eventually, he's left with no choice but to...
Knight! You have a mission to fulfill!
Go Super Saiyan and power punch him with a fist of golden fireflies?
What the? No. No, you can't.
Is it over?
There's only one way to find out. Agent Y, check his eyes.
No.
That's impossible!
I'm VENJIX, the one immortal Mayo!
We have to get him out of there!
Mayo, don't!
Say cheese!
You two really think you're any safer out there with her? Why don't you ask her what happened to her world, or her version of Hexagon?
What's he talking about?
Never mind. Let's just focus on finding out what went wrong and keeping VENJIX as distracted as possible.
Right.
You really think you can...
Red Ranger, your voice pierced the darkness that had engulfed me. You brought me back to the light. Thank you.
You call that an explanation? That is the most contrived half!
I think he's distracted. Now what was that with all the black eyes, red eyes business?
I don't know. Database's ocular illumination appears to be a form of pure bioenergy discharge. And I've only seen discharge like that once before. That was when... Oh no.
What?
Sentai rip-off nonsense! Oh, did she just figure it out?
Robo Knight isn't the only one who just might be damaged beyond saving.
What are you talking about?
Database and I aren't the only ones in here. Isn't that right, Doctor?
No, I can fix this.
We'll take Robo Knight to the command center. Go take and fix him.
Right, like he's gonna be of any help.
Quick! Yes or no? Does this lab have any equipment which can read psionic fields?
Of course, before the Rangers get the chance to finally reintroduce Robo Knight to his supposed creator, they receive a delayed reminder of exactly why it was a mistake to get rid of Drillhorn so quickly, as Vrak's final drill descends from the sky.
Thank you, Rangers. You have created my third drill.
This is what you get for not thinking these things through.
And in yet another 1-2 punch of bad communication, Robo Knight heads off while they're not looking, and the Rangers wait until they get back to the Mega Cave to tell Tensu and Gosei about it.
This is bad. Orion's still missing, Robo Knight's out there hurt, and Vrak has the drills he needs.
At least someone has finally learned proper threat assessment.
Dr. K, what are we looking at here?
I need more time.
What, do you think that something in this lab is just gonna magically give you the answers you're looking for?
Wait, look at his key. Robo Knight is still out there. And he's out there doing something good.
Okay, that's a little trick that might have been useful 15 episodes ago.
Turns out that Robo Knight has returned to Vrak's underwater lab. Another thing that would have been useful for the Rangers to know about, in hopes of taking down the villain himself. Which, of course, fails miserably as the alien prince just blasts Robo Knight to bring the whole facility crashing down around him.
Alphabet Soup is going to be coming down on us at any minute.
In one last effort of heroic sacrifice, Robo Knight rescues the unconscious Orion just as the base collapses and his inexplicably unpetrified key loses its glow.
Does that mean...
Yeah. He's gone.
Again, how do they just magically know this stuff?
Magic.
Determined not to let their old allies' totally permanent sacrifice be in vain, the Rangers race out for their final face-off with Vrak, who is now implementing the final stages of his plan to destroy the Earth. He activates his sea drill, land drill, and third drill as the Rangers arrive and morph to Mega, first making another failed attempt with their Megaforce blaster, then giving Ultra Mode a shot. But Vrak just crushes their Ultra Strike in the palm of his hand, and opens up his wings to unleash his dark powers and revert them back to Mega Mode.
It's all so very futile.
Dr. K, you have to tell me. What do the black eyes mean?
Back at the beginning of this year, when Database was trapped in that other dimension, he encountered some sort of entity, a psionic construct of some kind. It identified itself as his shadow archetype, a representation of everything he isn't. If this version of VENJIX has somehow awakened this dark database inside of him, it won't be going down without a fight.
The Rangers valiantly fight on against Vrak, but the arrival of a solar eclipse amplifies his dark powers, allowing him to accelerate the 3 drills. In other words, their whole world is falling apart. Even worse than yours did, Kay. Still, they struggle on, once again busting out the Megaforce blaster and entering into an energy standoff. But even adding their Mega Blasters to the mix to tip the scale still isn't enough to take out Vrak.
There's got to be something, anything that can cancel out this psionic field.
Wait, I have an idea. Let's combine our powers for a Sky Strike attack!
Why on earth would that work better than anything else you've tried?
Yes, Troy. Tap into the eclipse to increase your Sky Strike's power 1,000-fold.
That doesn't even make any sense! The eclipse is supposed to be increasing Vrak's power.
Vrak, it's time you learned your lesson. That good always triumphs over evil.
Because apparently good always has the power of Deus Ex Machina on its side?
Infinite Sky Strike! No! This is for the Earth! This is for Robo-Knight!
And of course it works.
Because, as we've established, an attack from a single default form ranger is far more effective than an entire team at their best, right?
And even though Vrak's body hasn't even been fully destroyed, that's apparently still good enough to disintegrate the drills somehow. And just to top off their contrived victory, the Demorph Rangers mosey on down to the beach to reenact a sweeping shot from the opening credits to find Orion washed up on the shore.
And it looks like he's not the only one who's just been found.
We're out of time, Doctor. If you're going to do something, do it fast.
The Rangers quickly get their teammate back to the Mega Cave, where he recovers with a blanket and some hot cocoa, recalling how Robo-Knight saved his life.
He sacrificed his own life force and transferred it to me. He may be gone, but I carry his energy inside.
There must be some way to get it out.
Sorry, Kay. I'm here to stay. I'll always be here.
He will always be with me.
He'll always be with all of us.
And so Gosei reassures them that not only was Robo-Knight a true warrior, but his spirit will live on in his replacement, swearing that one day they will defeat the Armada once and for all.
And that's the end of the episode. So, what did I think of it? Well, it's hard to say if Part 2 is necessarily better or worse than Part 1. They certainly did tone down the cyclic exposition, instead choosing to focus on the strong emotions being experienced by the characters, specifically placing considerably more attention on Robo-Knight. Troy's efforts to restore their old teammate, and then the rest of the team's collective concern over his second disappearance and grief over his sacrifice did make for some of the most dramatic performances that we've seen out of this cast.
Robo-Knight! You have a mission to fulfill!
This is bad. Orion's still missing, Robo-Knight's out there hurt, and Vrak has the drills he needs.
This is for the Earth! This is for Robo-Knight!
They're coming in.
I can't neutralize the field.
We need to execute our exit strategy.
I need more time.
A little over the top at times, sure, but at this point beggars can't be choosers, am I right, guys? Right, now, the resolution of these plot lines is another thing altogether. Where the previous episode focused heavily on expositing Vrak's plans and providing excuses for the lack of Gokaiger footage, this one makes no attempt to explain the rushed and nonsensical defeats of Robo-Knight and Vrak, both requiring Troy to pull new powers literally out of nowhere to win at the absolute last minute, making for two of the most baffling moments of the season to date. Overall, this episode may build up the tension and drama that was previously neutralized by Part 1's exposition, but all that suspense is quickly replaced by confusion as logic once again makes way for one simple lesson.
That's it.
That no matter how many new tricks you pull out of your sleeve, or how thoroughly you've planned your every move, power-ups or no, morphed or unmorphed, a Power Ranger always wins.
That's what I'm counting on.
What?
Dr. K, grab another batch of nanotech serum. We're going in.
The serum is useless if I can't neutralize the field.
Don't worry. I've got this.
He's never going to let us get close enough.
Let me worry about that.
What are you two doing?
Looking for another kiss, Mayo? Or is the good doctor hoping to get in on the fun this time? I do so love twins.
How about a fight?
Really now, you two, against me.
Against the Phantom Ranger. Come on, you could have morphed at any time and then taken out all three of us, or else gone invisible, and then Guy never could have laid a finger on you.
She's right.
Ever thought that maybe I'd just like to give my victims a sporting chance?
No. VENJIX would never pass up the opportunity to try out a new set of powers.
I think that you can't.
That's ridiculous.
DB won't let you.
Won't let me?
You said he's still in there.
And under my control.
But not his power, Ruby. Nobody can summon it but him.
I am him.
You're nothing but a failed experiment.
I'm a Power Ranger, and It's morphin' time. It's morphin' time.
It's time for you to say goodbye.
Doesn't matter. I am VENJIX. I will return.
Not this time. I may not know much about psionic fields, but I can tell when someone's in need of an exorcism.
No!
Database, if you can hear me, listen to my voice. Lorem ipsum verbatim habeas corpus.
Stop it! Stop it!
Come here!